live. Yeah. So this time I'm going to say hello, everyone. This is
Hi.
Nick, Andrey. Hi, Andrey, and hi, Kirk. Hello. So we continue our adventures with vibe hacking, vibe coding. Oh, we already, yeah, I already see Andrey is sharing his screen.
I can
It's
stop
great.
sharing if
No, it's too good.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. So we last time I did something right. I sent so I showed how I use cursor, and somehow I lost a lot of energy at that session. I don't know why. Well, I have ideas, but I'm not sure. And then later, a couple of days later, I posted. Was it before? I don't know. Like it doesn't matter. So in general, I use cursor every day. Last 2 weeks, and sometimes it's very wrong. For example, a recent experience this morning when I needed to adjust my patch. Remember, we had uh, problem of overflow of numbers and negative numbers, right? So in tests, there was a test with really huge number which was overflown, so tests didn't match. And I tried cursor. I asked cursor to fix it. What it did, it just decreased the value of the number. So no overflow anymore, right? And like now there's no problem, right? We just change the value, no problem. And so this is what it does often. Like
well,
it can,
it's a humor perhaps on its side or not.
yeah. So I said like no, we should face problems, like we should not avoid them, like let's do it properly, and think about fixing and so on. And another thing was like I'm coding something quite substantial in terms of lines of code recently, and sometimes we have a huge plan of like implementation plan, and I put it to markdown because sometimes cursor compresses context, and this is exactly when it can go crazy because it forgets things. So I try to keep our main plan and all pieces, code snippets we use often in some markdown files, because for example, if I don't do it, for example, sometimes it tries to use Postgres installed by Homebrew suddenly, and it does it like 20 times already. So I have it. I have also cursor rules. There is such thing, cursor rules. But I noticed like this plan, sometimes it reports production ready, successfully implemented everything. But I think something like it's a lot of like code lines, like thousands already, right? And I'm thinking something is wrong here. So I go to Cloud Opus 4 and I say, developer reports success, but my gut tells me it's not so. Let's like perform very strict review and be very honest. Like let's face reality. And Opus says, you know what? A lot of functions are like empty, not implemented, and they're all just returning some constants, just placeholders or something. And it's like, so we like, okay, this is code review, like we called it reality check. With Opus, we call it reality check. I brought it to Cursor with running Claude Sonnet, and it said, oh yes, I admit you are right. And so it was great, like to have second opinion. But then after many iterations, I noticed Opus started reporting success more and more, and there was some success, there was some progress, but still my gut tells me something is off. So I suspect both of them already too optimistic and like pretending it's implemented, but it's not. So this is I'm thinking, should I have third opinion already here, or should I finally dive into code myself? But it kills vibes.
Yeah, that's tough. I think sometimes you got to clear the context too of the AI when you restart and reset it, because otherwise it remembers stuff that just isn't so, right? Part of that, rewriting the history of what it was doing. So, anyways, interesting. All right. Well, this week we've agreed that we're going to fix up the patch for recording the LSN into the logs. We need to get this kind of finished, and if we have enough time, we're going to jump in and try to speed up one of the tests that's taking like 12 seconds out of 28 seconds worth of the make check testing. which is a great goal. But we're going to try to get closure on the LSN logging. And again, for those new to this one, LSN logging is about logging the LSN before you do something disastrous, like drop a table, drop a schema, drop a database, truncate a table, so that you can actually play back and stop before that happens, and then recapture the data and recover it. So it's a small thing to log, and the log doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's powerful to have it there when you need it. And we got feedback from one of the committers, Jim, on some pieces of it, and he actually helped with some of the code and a side comment to us. And now we're going to try to carry that forward and get that published.
Yeah,
Andrey?
that was great. Andrey, I stopped sharing. Sorry, I just wanted to.
Yeah, I was like going to stop sharing too, actually, but we didn't know when to.
Right.
Jim is not commit racing.
Oh, he's not. Oh, okay.
No.
I apologize. I promoted him.
He is, well, he have a much higher ranking. He is the regular viewer of our sessions, and he comments a lot about our sessions. So he's one of those who is actively supporting us here.
Good. Well, I wasn't trying to brown nose, Jim. I just think highly of you. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me share a screen again, and let's recap. What was
Nick? We lost your video. There you go. Now you came back, and you're muted, Nick. Just so you know.
Starlink lately has issues, so I have issues sometimes. So, yeah, it happens.
So on May 28th, we started with just recovering our patch, and then asked Cursor to fix some stuff according to Jim's version of a patch. And then we tried to make it polish it, and it couldn't really. It was doing a lot of changes, very tricky changes. I couldn't understand them. And let's start with looking to these patches and decide where we do hand polishing of that. So here is a branch I created, start white coding. Actually, it's not already on start. We have 3 commits here. First commit is very clean and small. It's like 50 lines of code. I'm pretty confident in it.
And that was our first attempt at this, correct?
Yes, this is all handwritten code.
Yep.
No extra stuff. Next commit is first. It was made by Cursor. It has added support for schema, but in a very strange way. It changed function that is executed when you start a transaction. No. When you start when you perform a delete or when you perform a drop, but not when a transaction is committed. In our first patch, we introduced transaction hooks that are executed when something is committed, actually. So that was the first problem, or where the Cursor was wrong. Another part that was done by Cursor, it's adding gag. It looks totally correct to me. This is extraneous. We don't need this. I like the test because it exists. Some tests, any test is better than nothing. But in this particular case, it's not super. It fails. But the problem is not it fails. Currently, it's just Actually, it's strange that it fails. Okay, let's just fix this test. And the fact that I don't like that it's set it as the one extra parallel schedule, so it will be executed in with only one thread. We should add it to some other test group, probably anything. We can add it anywhere.
And your point on that is subtle, but we need it in reality to be tested against when other transactions are actually running. Okay. Doing this by itself is like fall down simple. Okay. It's the only transaction. It's going to grab an LSN. It's going to put it in there. The flip side is that when you have other transactions running at around the same time, this actually creates the different LSNs that are going on and helps us make sure we got the right LSN. We're not just getting lucky here insofar as being able to test it. And that's the proper way to test it, is it with other people committing stuff around it.
You
Right?
know, the problem is that we cannot test this bug with the regression test. In regression test, we are expecting exact output. So here is the output file. Here. When we will execute commit, we will see a message here, like drop in a table, blah, blah, blah. Here is the LSN. And this LSN will be always different.
And there's no masking?
No. There is kind of masking for different platforms. You can support different output files. But we cannot supply output file for every possible LSN because there's just too much of them.
So there's no easy way to like convert like everything after the LSN to like digit, number, letter, number, like hashtag for the numbers, and digit like dollar for any letters, and then it should always have this format. We can't
I don't know.
regex it. Okay.
I never heard about this feature. This sounds like a very good feature for future sessions.
You know what? I'll make a note on that.
Yeah, maybe some kind of masking is there, but I'm not aware of it. It must be in somewhere in a regress tool. We can try to see README about it. Here is the regress tool, and here is the README. And it's not super verbose. I'm not aware of any masking that is there. Let me show you how. Look how it looks like. This is a result of the same test. And this is two. So these two tests they both are valid on different configuration. So when you do not have LZ4 built in, this test result will be accepted. When you have LZ4, this test result will be accepted. But nothing like masking. Just the idea is that like you do not handwrite these output files. You do not create them because it's just difficult to collect all outputs from different platforms. But I think we can propose it in next sessions, not right now. Like now, let's get back to fixing drop LSN. Okay, so we just cannot use this test at all. And actually, that sounds bad for us because we will have to write tab tests. And I'm not sure we can do it online, but maybe we'll try. Let's review other code that was generated by Metal Brain. Metal Brain.
Metal Brain.
Metal Brain. Okay. So we were trying to convince it's doing not right schema drops. And actually, looking through this change, I like it. So it has actually introduced a schema drop callback. Oh, but let's see where it is used. Register exact callback. Mm, mm, why it is removing something here? So just looks good, but why do we have to remove anything? Did we have this callback? Ah, we had a callback already here. So now we have double functionality. We have this notice drop schema and this notice drop schema. That one that is down the screen is correct. Looks correct to me. We just need to check if it works and remove this because this is not necessary at all.
Hold up with that on the screen. I have what might be a dumb question. Is it the fact that we have an E report with an LSN in it that is creating the output that we can't match, right? Because we're doing E report drop schema with LSN. That needs to show up in the output that we're eventually going to match, right? Is this if we were to log the LSN separately with an E log or something that only goes to the log file, right?
Mhm.
And output the LSN as a filtered LSN in this message, if that didn't break what we're trying to do, then we could use the regression test output because the LSN wouldn't be the actual LSN. Like if we just drop the LSN off this message that comes out to the user, but we logged the LSN in the log file, I don't know if that works because are we capturing the log file output as part of the...
I don't like idea of separating messages.
Good,
So
that's
you
fine.
have two pieces of information that belong together, and we print them in different lines. Folks that like to use grep or another stuff to analyze logs will not be happy with splitting
Got
the
it.
message.
Got it.
Maybe let's ask Metal Brain about using printed LSN in regression tests. Maybe someone else encountered this problem before.
So the OID is going to be a problem too, isn't it?
Anything that is random, like OID of user table is random.
Right.
OID of system catalog is not.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
OID of system, yeah.
So we should drop a system catalog file. I'm kidding.
Well, I like to drop system catalog stuff.
I know.
It's
Kill
like
-9.
every good joke like deserves to be executed with pseudo edit, of course, on production.
Yeah.
Okay, so this part.
So you got here because you were looking at what it added for its schema callback, and you recognized that we already had a schema callback. And I think our schema callback waited until after the commit is the difference, right? Their schema callback, was it waiting till after the commit?
Yes.
Oh.
So
Okay.
this callback is absolutely correct. It's registered for transaction end, actually.
Oh, that's what the exact means, right? Transaction callback. So at the end of the transaction callback, it'll get called. Okay.
But it's this part is nonsense. Like, what is it? Why is it? And these changes are nonsense. Oh, it invented new drop schema command. Where do we have old drop schema command? We don't have old. It's not called anywhere. So
Really?
this callback stuff is correct. But this function that is calling
You can search the code and you can't find the drop schema command anywhere?
I will try. No, I don't see it anywhere.
Wow.
Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm not on a correct commit.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, are you in the
So
right branch?
I'm on a commit, on further commit, some further experiments. So let me check out here. And maybe it will reappear. So we should see at least one instance. Yeah. So it added the function that is not called anywhere. Let's see how other callback was registered. Here is a drop remove relations command that will register our callback. Maybe we have something like remove schema here. Remove namespace, maybe. Remove. Okay, I understand how it was reasoning. It was reasoning like this comment must exist somewhere, so I will just write it.
So let me ask you this question. Does the individual drop, when you drop a schema, okay, just to be clear, by the time it commits, it doesn't commit the drop schema until it's already dropped all the tables and everything else inside the schema, correct?
Mm.
Because it actually has to do the work before it commits it, right?
When you commit a transaction, you change only one bit in C-log.
Right.
And execute callbacks, of course. And other stuff that must be fast, but sometimes it's not super fast, but that's another topic.
Yeah, but if you have
So
10 tables,
actual
go ahead.
drop executed before. Drop of the schema. Drop cascade must execute actual table drops. So it will call table drops.
And it'll all be the same LSN.
They'll be the same commit LSN. But if you drop a schema without tables, it's not a big deal. You just drop an empty container. You can
recreate that.
You can recreate it.
The only thing you're going to lose is any security associated with it.
It's not that disastrous as. So your idea is to just not log schema, just log tables that were dropped.
Right.
I think it's just how it was working on previous commit.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's test it.
I'm trying to understand this question about non-deterministic values in regression tests. Talking to Opus 4 about this, and it says one of the things it says just use tab tests instead of regular regression tests.
Yep.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll need to write some additional code.
And the Postgres people would have to accept that code, which I think that'll be harder. That'll be harder to get into the system than anything else. Yeah, tap test work.
How it was called?
Oh, set LSN. Was it log LSN?
Log something it was.
I always do \d config and then I can use wildcards. Have you used the \dconfig psql command? \dconfig, C-O-N-F-I-G, one word, D,
Deconfig, yeah.
and then config space. There you go. And that tells you just your changes. Now you can do asterisk LSN asterisk. Asterisk LSN and then asterisk at the end. Perfect. I don't see the change.
I think we just do not have it here.
We might not have the guck in ours.
Yes, in this particular version.
Right. Okay.
We just log it always. So
Perfect.
let's just drop schema A.
Cascade. Awesome.
Nothing was logged. No, but it wasn't logged.
That's interesting.
Create table. Let's see in which
Let's
cases
drop
do we.
just the table. Let's just drop the table to make sure it's logged. A.B. It's not in your path. There you go. Look at that. Look at that.
So there is another code path that drops a table, not through remove relations.
Oh, because we trapped the DDL. Yeah, we trapped the drop command. We didn't. Oh, that's interesting. Right, we attach to the DDL. That means we're going to have to attach to the DDL for the drop schema.
Let's set a break.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's configured, but let's try. If debugging environment is configured.
Your password's not long enough.
True, that's true. So create this table back and drop it. No, not trigger it. So breakpoint didn't work.
All right. Don't you have to, when you run psql, or nope, I guess it's on the back end. Don't you have to start the back end in a mode that tells it enables the breakpoints?
The thing is, now we are running binaries that were compiled from other sources. That's why it cannot attach. We will recreate it. Create schema A, create schema table B, drop table A, B. I forgot to add a breakpoint. Create table, drop table. Still not working. I don't know why.
How about dropping us an E-log? Just debug it the old with the print.
Makes sense.
And do we technically want to do an E-log of the else? Or
Just do it.
Cool.
But it takes some seconds more. Hello. We were there.
Good. So we did get there. So now we wanted to see if we got there when we do drop schema, right?
One small attempt to get back.
So
Debugger is not attaching. Okay, let's debug our usual way. Create table and drop schema A, cascade. Not hello.
Yep. So it's happening on the drop relations. So inside the drop relations of the drop schema.
It is now. It's our bug that was there.
Where it keeps logging, right?
Yes. We have to reconnect. Create schema A, create table A, B, drop schema A, cascade. No logs. Let's see the path, how it is dropped actually. We didn't observe hello.
Correct.
We don't have a like drop schema command.
That's what it was trying to create, right?
Yeah, there is something in pg dump about drop schema.
Oh, right, of course.
Remove. Let's see what this function is doing. It's doing for each removable object. It's remove relations. We had some drop cascades too. We can search for this string literally in a code. Just exclude out and okay, excludes doesn't work. Oh, no matter. We can search in C files. C. Drop cascades to dependency. Huh? So there's drop cascades to and this is just a reporting function, I think. Yes, reporting function. Where do we report this stuff? Perform deletion. Two identical cases.
I think you were there. You were at delete objects in list. There you go. That's the code we need to look at next.
And delete one object.
There you go. And this is going to loop over and come in to delete one object. And do we know if it's a table?
So let's check that we go here when
you wanna elog.
Yeah. Check if we get to the place when we are performing regular drop table.
Yep.
Create schema A, create table AB, create table AC.
Table, misspelled.
Drop table AC.
Good, you
Hello
got
to-
hello to twice, 3 times.
Huh.
But there were probably 3 different objects being dropped.
Yeah, we were
right?
dropping a type that was registered for each relation, and maybe something else that was registered for this relation. And now we are going to drop schema A cascade. So we have to move our callback registration to this place. But if we do it, we are currently on top of a very old version, like version where we don't have GAC, version where we don't have something else. I think we don't have like non-working test and unregistration of a callback. So if we start refactoring from here, it's a bad idea. We should get back to the stuff that was implemented by AI and move registration to this delete one object function. That's what I propose. Do you think it's a good course of action?
I think it is. It's the right course of action. The question becomes the effort required. I think we've chased this down pretty well. I don't think we stand a great chance of wrapping in this session if we go down this path. And I want to open it up to speeding up the other tests as our reward for making some progress on this. Because that'll be more fun and more interesting. I feel bad for Nikolai.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
So let's try to use some AI. I think this just like too much of a work for online session. Actually,
Yes.
I think I should polish it by hand, but it will take 2 or 3 hours probably. Maybe. It's a bit too long for online session.
You know what? If we ask Opus 4 describe the problem and ask to plan properly, it probably will plan in terms of weeks and sprints and so on. This is what I have all the time. Then I remind like, oh, we have this and this, and we okay.
There are no tasks that cannot be done in 2 weeks. I mean, that's all planning that I use.
Yes. This is a thing in the United States. Whenever a programmer says something takes 2 weeks or longer, it means they have no idea.
If it can be done, it can be done in 2 weeks. Okay, yes. So I think we are going to discard this to elog hello and switch to
the latest.
Yeah, origin. I like this. No. Previous time I was at the point of this commit, and then on revert of this commit, and it was funny to see that it was committed and then still reverted. Okay, so now we have a very fresh. Not so fresh. Let's make fresh here. Now it's very fresh.
So we should probably do a fresh make clean, make check.
I usually do something like that.
Okay.
It's a history, and this is basically like do everything with regular settings. And while it is starting, let's spin a cursor. Cursor.
It's even though it's spelled with an O, it's pronounced more like an ER, cursor, instead of cursor. But it's a weird.
So, how to reset everything here? Like, close all.
There you go. And go back up. Go back up to the settings for cursor real quick. I want you to pull up your rules. I want to acknowledge. Far right. The gear is it the once cursor is launched. There you go. ... Oh, there's cursor setting. Perfect. So go to rules. Click on rules in the middle. Yeah, perfect. So if you look here, these preferences, right, get sent to the AI on all chats. So those are global rules versus project-specific rules. So it actually stores a file in your project directory, okay, Yeah, there you go. So it will send that in the background with every command. Okay, so that's cool. And if you go down to where project rules are, you can add them with a name. Okay, and then you can configure them to send all the time or to send only when you mention the name. Okay, so for example, if you want to be very explicit on how to do a make, that it needs to make the last 5 versions, you can set that up as a rule, and then you're supposed to be able to mention it. Ooh, the desktop environment changed. We are sitting in the board of directors judging Andrey.
I was just checking. We lost Andrey. I don't see him.
Yeah, Andrey, you didn't turn your camera off, did you?
Yeah, let's stop it. It was an experiment. Oops.
We just crushed his internet speed. Try turning your, I was going to say, turn your camera off real quick to catch back up. Actually, I'll turn my camera off. That should reduce the load.
Some internet issues.
Problem is.
Yeah, I think problem is on your side right now.
Yeah, I think our side is fine.
It's consuming.
Oh, maybe it's when cursor starts consuming lots of cores, 100%, and it happens to be sometimes. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Do you hear?
Yeah, we hear you, but you're backing up a little bit. But it's improving, I guess. Is it 100% CPU or what? Or just pure internet issues?
Something,
yeah.
No, it's a CPU problem. Something hit at my computer very, very warm.
Is it cursor helper processes? Maybe.
It's it may be tests, actually. So see, the test started with 100 milliseconds and ended with 100 of seconds, actually.
Dozens of seconds, dozens, not hundreds.
No, okay, yes.
Yeah, total hundreds of seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, but now I still see some, like Zoom is using CPU.
It's always so.
Well, now it seems more stable.
Yes.
Let's get back to cursor. Where is it? So, Kirk, you was telling me like I'm to run Postgres tests. Please use make check like this.
Yeah. So now, if you think about it, though, you don't want that as a user rule. You would actually add that as a project rule for this current project, because you open a project, which is your Postgres folder, right? And then you can add that. So go ahead, click Add New Rule. Now call the rule build. Just call the rule build, or build. Now you can go ahead and fill this in, but you see the drop down says manual. Okay, right? So hit the manual, and now you can say always attach, auto attached, whatever. So manual means if you say the word build in your prompt, it'll reference it back to this rule, is my understanding, right? So then this way you can gradually get it. So I'm building them to say things like build or build all. So the build all will actually compile all 6 versions of Postgres that I have, or 5 versions, right? And I just wanted to mention that because Andrey taught me about that last time. So I went and started playing with it and using it. And what was cool is when I switched projects, I saw it dump the rules for one project and load the rules for the other project. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's convenient, right? Because I work with other systems. So cool.
No, I have only one. Okay, so we are going to explain like
Sorry, what systems are you working with, Kirk? MySQL or what?
No, I'm working with that's funny. No, SQLite, like world class. Actually, Cursor does very well with SQLite. It'll SSH to the machine and actually does all the DDL from a command line. I was blown away. Anyways, but yes, I have. I use it with a handful of other systems, a lot of Python too. So I actually prefer it with Python than even JetBrains, PyCharm.
Yeah. Well, it should be good with Python, I think. Should be.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
So, especially if you set up a test cycle so it knows how to test it properly. Did you open the project already? Did you
I think so.
In Cursor, you opened your Postgres folder? Yeah, probably because it says Postgres at the top.
Yeah, I would check that code base is indexed in settings. It should be
Settings?
in settings
Yep.
again. Yeah,
Same place, indexing down bottom, one up from bottom.
I guess you have old cursor again. Like, yeah,
Probably.
so yeah, so it definitely sees the code base.
Cool.
I just see the number of settings. It looks old, so it's worth upgrading next time.
Faster in parallel? Is that what you meant to say?
Due to better parallelization.
How it would be? It's like ordering. So to have like multiple workers, and then each worker we first like run shorter and longer, and then
when we start a parallel group, we start every test in a parallel. So if you have 7 tests, you have a level of parallelization 7. But if you have more cores, you can add more tests here, actually.
This is one idea, right? But also ordering of them matters, right?
How do I check how many CPUs they have? Like nprocs?
Ask.
So
no, it's on Linux. You need to ask. I always forget sysctl something.
CPU?
Ask Cursor. It knows how to do it. Well, maybe next.
Yeah,
time.
after this.
Sysctl.
By the way, I did the analysis on mine. I had Cursor do it. I had it try nproc minus 1, 2, 3, and 4, including nproc for the J setting, and it determined that J of nproc minus 1 was by far the most efficient. If you actually do nproc, it pegs the machine at 100%, and it kind of loses a little bit of efficiency. So because you're running a make in one process, and the other processes are doing the compile.
Which model should I use? Do you have any suggestions?
4 Sonnet is good. We don't need to be in max mode, I don't think.
So run it.
Run it. And Nikolai sent you the command to use to figure out your
number of vCPUs. Yeah, this is what exactly.
8. It's telling me I have 8 CPUs.
You sent it, right? So you interrupted the process, I guess, if you sent it.
No.
He added it to the question.
I see.
Yeah, do you guys use the Linux parallel command? It's in core utility.
Not often. Oh, sometimes.
That's how I run all my vacuums. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So when I have to vacuum like the 800 tables in a database, I just run those and use them
Yeah,
parallel.
yeah, we discussed this vacuum DB analyze only, or vacuum DB. There is such CLI utility, right?
Oh,
You can,
yeah.
but it has issues. For example, if you want just to collect statistics post upgrade, and you use vacuum DB analyze only -J like 8 or something, 96 or something, right? It won't analyze parent like root partition tables. It will analyze only partitions, but not partition tables. Unlike a manual analyze SQL command, it will analyze partition tables. This is weird. But manual analyze SQL command, it's single threaded.
Yeah.
So what does it mean? Everyone should do what you do, parallel.
Or we should actually fix the tool.
Okay, in to-do list. In to-do list. Yeah.
I'm
Well, by the way,
put-
I raised it in Hackers. There was no big interest of fixing this. It's strange because I had cases when root tables without statistics were a problem after upgrade. I had such cases.
a cursor is executing tests on my machine, so chances are that I can be disconnected at some point if it's overheat.
It's not disconnect, they'll just start lagging, like breaking
You
up.
can set it to -J6 and leave yourself a little CPU.
But we want it actually to have
Max
real
speed, right?
data. Yeah. I could take a MacBook Pro, it weighs a little more, but it won't overheat.
I don't understand. I don't understand. So we have you call make to run tests, right? Make
check.
Make check, right? Or so it has a -J option.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we?
It ignores it.
I know, but why? We should respect that option and use it here to give control in hands of executor, like who runs the command, right?
Because we have dependencies between tests, we cannot execute them in any parallel order. If we will run them strictly, like randomly, we will have all kinds of race conditions.
Okay. So it's always you think it's always worth running it in full speed, like you're using all the cores we have, because it might be a problem in some cases, right?
Well,
at least I would prefer to see a warning about this in the beginning, right? Like I used -J2, but somehow it's actually 8. Oops. And there is big explanation why. I get it, but as a user, like, okay, user who runs tests.
It will take 30 seconds. Why bother?
Okay.
And actually, we want it to take 20 seconds.
Right, because we have one test alone that's taking 10 seconds or 12 seconds, right?
It actually moved a lot. Let's see. So here it's recommended to move in many different places.
Okay.
And I don't know what it's doing now. It's going to benchmark different schedules on my laptop, and that will definitely hit it enough to disconnect me. But so far, everything's fine.
This is, by the way, sorry for interrupting. What it does right now, it runs something and adds tail -10. I don't like this approach at all. Like it does it all the time. So we don't see what's happening. We will see only 10 last lines. Why?
Yeah. Why? Why it is
not to
like
spam?
trying to save its cycles?
Yeah. Like context window optimization. But we can skip some important stuff like this. Well, we will see errors, all of them anyway, because they will go to std error, right? So I don't know.
Well, it is using all my CPU, and it doesn't require me to do anything. So probably it's working. How long will it take? I
I
don't
don't
know.
see it's using all the CPU. It's 80% of one core, and that's it. I mean, total number is 80%. If it was everything, it would be
Total.
800%. It would be 800%.
No,
Well,
C++
this
tools
chart.
was a lot. It was just 90 some percent, but is that of one CPU?
Well, it may be not one CPU, but in total, it's less than one CPU because I often see like 100 something, 200 something when it's really like taking multiple CPUs using threads. Right?
So it's building a Python script that will compare different tests.
Oof. Let's
Why
bring
not?
Python to let's replace another idea. Let's replace all Perl code with Python code.
Eventually, I think that needs to happen.
It was discussed on the leadership meeting.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Was it secret discussion or like? Did
I
you sign
don't think
NDA
so.
or no?
They filed it, I think, with switching to threads instead of forking. So
I will check if it's public. I think it's public.
Well, Python would be easier to read for many more people.
Not switching, but adding support for Python.
For tests.
This is interesting, though. It did learn something, right? It saw an issue that it was double counting stuff. And so it reworked the test.
Oh, it can run like after you ask something, this iteration can be like 10, 20 minutes easy. Like it has this limit 25 tool calls. You can resume like 50 calls, very long. Honestly, I already installed, like in Chrome, you can add remote desktop ability. And sometimes I check it from my iPhone. I check cursor. I leave the computer running and I check cursor like walking the dog. And okay, I need to press resume. I press resume. Okay, continue.
Oh,
because the iteration is super long.
I'm not logged into Wiki, and you can see that it was discussed. Can we have new Python tests and all that stuff? So it's no secret here.
It's open source, should not be secret. I was teasing. That's it.
Absolutely. I think so too. Just double checking. I don't know what it's doing. It is benchmarking different tests. It is actually bothered with tests that was bothering me, or operational sanity. And it is actually very long test, and I don't know. Will it come up with some idea what to do with it? I saw it just it was executed in 6 seconds, but in some cases it takes 11 years. So it's not super stable. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's not. Anyway, whatever it is doing, I rarely have a full utilization according to this chart. I don't know how to make it bigger, but I look here on this blue chart.
Yeah. Well, it means we have some resources to be utilized. Let's optimize.
Okay, look at that. 5.5 seconds dominates the test, 12.8% efficiency. Partition testing, 24, 22, 21 seconds. All the other tests are pretty darn fast. Optimization implemented. Parallel schedule optimized. Isolated very slow tests greater than 4 seconds. Good, so it defined very slow in relative terms to the process. And rebalanced remaining groups to about 8 tests, matching the CPU cores. Reduced the max concurrent test to 8. Better CPU utilization. Improved predictability. All right. So fewer random timing variant. Let's see what it goes. Expected benefits.
it again tries to sell its work to us. This is what's happening here. I know
Trust
this
me,
pattern.
I did a good job. I did a really good job
exactly.
for you.
We should ask Andrey or Opus, actually. Or both.
I honestly, I don't get it. I was thinking that like we have to do all flow tests in parallel
Together. Right.
together, yes. But it's isolated. Isolated many tests together. Okay, that's fine. So it has
So let's see the test. Yeah.
let's see how what is it? Max concurrent tests.
New option.
Okay. Let's see what is
while you were explaining why it cannot be used, option in make check. It already developed.
Okay. I really like that we only have one extra file and no changes. It's I'm always like distrusting when it's doing random how it's called
edits. Random edits.
Shotgun surgery.
Oh, shotgun surgery, correct, yes.
Max concurrent test.
Set the test to 6 instead of 8, maybe. So we don't lose you.
Is it really working, this option?
It's not working.
Oh, it doesn't run?
It's just an idea at this point.
Hold it, you didn't press enter.
I pressed enter. It's just not trying.
Reporting some help, that's it.
Oops. New chat. Why new? How to get back to that chat?
No problem. The button to the left of the settings button. No. Up. It's a split. So you see settings, yeah, this one. So this is new chat, but we have a tab optimize test.
So I have this file parallel schedule optimized.
Yeah, you keep pressing new chat.
Slow down. Slow down.
I want to.
Let's go
slow
down.
Visual Studio.
Andrey,
slow down.
Slow down. Okay, open your chat. Open your chat window back up. Open your chat. See, look at the top. Don't click. Read. New chat. Keep going to the left. There you go. Now you're there. All right. I just needed you to.
So, anyway, let's go to Visual Studio. Let's close anything else. Go to parallel.
What's Visual Studio? Just with additional
schedule. Take this, replace everything here, and just run make check and see if it works.
See, this becomes the problem.
Let's try to fix it by hand.
Okay.
Some group has more than 20 tests. Test stop. Line 18. This group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One extra. Okay. So
let's remove money. Let's remove money. It should be another patch. Remove money data type completely. You need -1. It should be money. Money. It's a very bad data type. Nobody should use it.
I don't think it took too much.
It's a joke. I'm already in joke mode.
This is a good joke.
We should replace money with Bitcoin. Just saying.
Okay, this
Like,
session went
actually,
nuts.
removing money sounds like a communism.
Oh, that fixed everything.
No.
It turned out to be the money test was killing us. Without money, everything runs easier. I don't know why. Usually it's the opposite.
How much time does it take now?
Um,
I feel it's already took like 30 seconds or so.
Too long, too long.
And you know what?
Mm.
Thrill test failed actually. Why? We didn't change anything.
No, we changed the order of execution, which they could have been dependent on execution,
Interesting,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
right? So
But
that's
let's measure the time.
So
oh, didn't you do? Oh, okay. Yep, you didn't measure it. Okay,
I
cool.
didn't. Well, at least it didn't crash. So we will have to fix the order.
trying to
But
be optimistic
also,
here.
I just have to say, sometimes when you're working with the AIs, you got to set that bar a little low so your expectations aren't blown away. At least we didn't crash.
yeah, it's not a low bar with code with Postgres code base. Changing any byte in source code, like returning to compiling status, is already great. Like returning to not crashing, that's like that's the
It's
definition of
huge.
success.
It's huge. It didn't
Okay,
crash.
it didn't crash.
Okay,
53
so which one?
seconds.
53 seconds. That
Let's get
seems
back
worse.
to original. 50. Let's remember 53.
All right, I'll write it down. This is actually kind of fun, though.
So, do you think we will see less or more? Will the metal brain beat
Well,
someone?
considering that Zoom eats a lot of CPU as well, this is not fair comparison in general.
Right.
True.
Not clean comparison. Already longer, right?
I don't know. I just
Why does it
there
take
is
so
a
long to output the line?
the thing is my computer is heated, so it's slower eventually. When it was fresh, it was 27 seconds, but now it's not.
Now it's you warmed it up. By the way, I have a little furring strip underneath my laptop so I get more air to circulate underneath to the fan. Oh, that made
I
it easily
I have
reduced 20 degrees.
this laptop that is running tests, and this laptop is used to suck heat from another laptop.
Wow. Yeah, the hotter your system gets, the slower the test run. Is this one slower than last time?
Actually,
For this
I
for
have
this work, I would prefer to use some VM remotely.
yeah.
Right.
My son asked me for AMD machine. So I bought him his PC, and while trying to assemble it, I just didn't understand like that some stuff. So I have now a lot of hardware. Now probably I will assemble me a small server and do builds there. it is better
without zoom and
ventilated,
stuff.
so more stable.
And,
So
yeah.
we see that it's takes
Longer.
3 times more. I'm not sure it's fair comparison, but if we are strict,
but we also have pure CPU time, right? User and system in seconds. 160 user, 36 system. This is pure time, like.
But on
better for comparison, no?
You still can't compare it for a hot CPU because the number of seconds spent depend on the stepping you're at, and if it's stepping you down for the heat consumption problem,
yeah, makes sense.
So
it's 30 Celsius now. Yeah.
Wow.
So the summer goes on, and
yeah,
I will understand my laptop why it's so slow.
So other thing I'll mention, Andrey, and I got this for one of my guys in Russia proper. It's got 4 big fans on it, 2 that blow up and 2 that blow down, and he sets his laptop on that, and then he cranks that on a hot day, and that just like boom. He's like, it really helps. It's like they have them. They're called, I think, laptop coolers. So if you need such, but cool.
I can just take a pro version. I like Air because like I can throw it through my backpack and go anywhere, and it's super light. But if I'm doing such heavy stuff, probably I need fans. No options. Yeah. Okay, so I will test it when my laptop will get colder, and let's wrap probably for today.
Yeah.
So everything is unfinished. The summary.
That's right. Okay. We bit off a lot, but let's, on a good point, we bit off a lot. We did attempt. We showed up now. What is this? 2 or 3 weeks in a row on our new day. This is like the longest streak we've had in a row. And I'm confident we'll show up next week. So what I would like to do is, let's see what we can't get. Andrey, if you can get a little bit closer to wrapping up the patch, then we can cover the finishing touches. I would love to cover how the LSN patch works a bit, and then maybe have do a little bit of the Claude Opus technique with Nick on reviewing the patch, because I think that's a good skill. And then if for a stretch goal, I would go one further and reach into the commit fest using just the cursor and the AI and grab something and have it suck it in, compile it, run the test.
Yeah, this idea, this is a good idea. I could do that. And also in offline, I will finalize adjustments of my patch to PGRZ wall to change database system identifier. So it's almost done already, and I do it again in vibe coding manner. So
awesome.
Yeah, next time probably I will also report some results. Good. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure as usual.
Everyone.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.